I thank you for having me today. As you said, I work in VR and I handle vehicle modifications, assistive technology, home and job modifications, and durable medical equipment. And the scariest one, I think, is the job accommodations, because we really don't know what that means, right? You have a pen, you have seen those pens with a little buffer on the end, so it doesn't hurt your fingers. That is assistive technology. That is very low tech, but we don't realize we're using it every day. The Americans with Disability Act, ADA, is what started making sure that accommodations could be in the workplace. Employers, first off, the first thing that comes to mind is cost, right? Because when we think about modifications, you think about, moving doors or rearranging the way the office is. And they were like, how are we going to do that? How are we going to afford it? Let's just avoid that problem. 59% of accommodations cost absolutely nothing. Isn't that startling? 59%. The other, probably up to 80%, cost less than $500. That's not costly. That is something very doable for most employers. What will that give you for these accommodations? You retain valuable employees. You improve productivity. Morale is better. You reduce workers' comp and training costs, and you improve the company's diversity, all for less than $500. I put a link at the top, and I'd hope to show you this link. I invite you to go to askjan.org, and you can put in the disability. It can tell you what might help with accommodations. You can put it in the accommodation that's being requested, and it can show you how to accomplish that. It is a great tool just for education, and invite you to use it with your employees. Take a look at it and browse that site. They have revamped the site. It is extremely user-friendly. There are many types of assistive technology. There's the no-tech solution, an accommodation that costs little or no money, just time, support, and creativity. An example of this would be someone that is very light sensitive. And let's say their desk was by a window or with harsh overhead lighting. Just by changing the lighting and getting a lamp or moving them away from the window can solve the problem. How would you know there's a sensitivity? Because people with disabilities or a person needing accommodation usually is pretty shy, but a person that is light sensitive will have extreme headaches, and that results in them having to go home or not being as productive, and just a slight change creates more productivity. There's the low-tech solution. That is something very simple that is readily available in most offices. That's the ergonomic pens or desk chairs. Just something very simple that you're going to have in the office anyway. Maybe it's left-handed scissors instead of right-handed scissors. Something very simple would be considered low-tech. And then there's the high-tech solutions. This is using advanced or sophisticated devices. That's the telephones, maybe with closed caption that scrolls across the front for better understanding. Or maybe it's kind of think of some high-tech Dragon, naturally speaking. That's the software where a person who has low dexterity or can't type can use voice to do all the documents. That sounds perfect, right? What people don't understand is that software really does require training. It's great software, but you got to learn how to use it and how to put a data file in of your voice. So there's many solutions depending on the needs. Here's an example. This would be on the right-hand side, a monitor that has a stand that is adjustable. So this will allow for a person who wanted to stand, or they're in a wheelchair and they can't get close enough to the desk. I myself am in a wheelchair, so this would be something very beneficial for me if I couldn't get up to the desk close enough. On the left-hand side, this is a standing desk. It has a place for your keyboard. It is adjustable on the sides. This allows flexibility during the day, so a person doesn't have to sit. They can stand, they can move around. We get this a lot when people have arthritis. Staying in one position sometimes creates more inflammation. So this is what the standing desk. Both of these would be considered low tech, right? You're going to have desks in your offices, and you're going to have stands for computers. These are just a little different. I mentioned the Dragon Naturally Speaking. This is the software on the right. It is considered one of the best, even though Microsoft Word does come with ways to use voice recognition. This is a powerhouse, right? You will need a mic so that you don't have to speak loud. And that's still very low tech. This headset on the left-hand side is less than $20. But you'll notice the mic would be positioned right in front of their mouth. These are vision assistive devices. The one on the right is a Ruby. This magnifies. It also takes pictures so you can view it later. This is a handheld device that's easily can be put in a person's briefcase, taken with them wherever they go. This is an example of something that is not disruptive, right? Everybody is not going to see they're using, assistive device. The video magnifier on the left is portable also, even though it looks rather large. And whatever you want to see, you put in the bottom tray. And it reads a book. It can talk to you and read it for you. This is a great device to use just for many reasons. But these will be for someone with low vision. This is also an example of low tech. You'll notice the mice for the computer on the right-hand side. This is a thumb controlled mice. So as your hand lays naturally, this would support the hand. It helps people who have carpal tunnel or keep them from getting carpal tunnel. It's a learning curve if you're used to using your finger, but you don't have to slide this around, right? Your hand stays still and the thumb moves the cursor back and forth. The keyboard on the left, this also is for low vision. You can't really tell, but each of the alphabet is raised, so you'll be able to tactile feel it. This is a yellow and black keyboard for contrast, and the numbers and the keys are much bigger. So this could help several things. One, if someone has a tremor in their hand, this helps them hit the key without hitting other keys. It's also used for low vision. It's also used for people who see differently, not necessarily low vision. That's what the color contrast does. These are awesome. I don't know if you've ever been to a conference lately and you have that situation where either you can't hear the speaker or you're unable to be heard when you speak, right? This is a pocket talker. So they're able to talk into the device on the right, and it makes it louder. Also, it picks up sound, so it goes right into the earbuds. Both of these are for somebody with hearing impairments or can be used in differentiating different sounds, right? If you're in a crowded room, even if you have hearing aids make everything louder. This, you can put it right in front of the speaker, and you can leave it on the podium, and the sound will go directly into the ear. These are awesome. This also is a very low-tech solution, under $500. I think it's around 200 for these devices. This is a video relay service. So persons who are deaf are able to have a telephone that's really a monitor, and there's a camera on the top. And so when someone calls in, they call the video relay number, and a person translates to the person or to the employee what is being said, both in sign language to the employee. The employee uses sign language to talk to the video relay person on the screen of a candidate, and then that person voices, if they need to the person who's calling. This is considered high-tech-ish because it's involving a third party, but the cost is very low. Any devices you've heard of or accommodations that you've wondered about and wondered how much would that cost? Is it feasible? The point I want to convey is an accommodation is something that, number one, employees don't like to ask for, right? It points a finger at them. It's embarrassing. But what do you get as an employer if you provide those accommodations? You get a very hardworking, loyal employee. Another thing that I noticed as myself in a wheelchair, cubicles sometimes don't accommodate the footprint of the chair. And so all you have to do is make the cubicle 6 inches wider, right? Once again, you wouldn't think of it, and it's no cost, and it's huge. I'm a big fan of assistive technology. Obviously, I'm a big geek. Alexa runs my household, right? Without Alexa, I don't even know how we would make it in our house. But another common accommodation is a door opener. Folks that can't open the door. Doors are supposed to be no more than 5 pound pull. It means it takes 5 pounds worth of effort to open a door. Sometimes, especially in many of the those glass doors, due to the suction they create, they're very hard to open. But you know, the buttons for just a button to open the door that usually has a wheelchair sign on it. That's an example of a door opener, but there's some very high-tech ones that is invisible really to anyone else. It could be a motion sensor. And the word universal design, that way everybody is experiencing the same. Or it could be just a high-tech door opener that's opened with a key fob. So that would be kind of a high-tech solution. Another thing is a threshold ramp. People don't think that that's going to be an issue, but someone who has an altered gait, meaning they walk differently, or they're unable to pick their feet up very high, or wheelchairs, there are rubber ramps that just go right at the threshold, and number one, keep people from tripping. So it's universally used for safety, but it's huge when you are in a need where you can't pick up your foot, or you have drop foot, or you're in a manual wheelchair. Ramps are big. We get a lot of requests for ramps for businesses. And now that we are moving kind of more into a hybrid, most people have the opportunity now to work at least sometime from home. The line on home or job modification is very blurred, right? When we all were, finding ways to work remotely during the pandemic, we did a lot of setting up offices or letting folks take their office equipment home with them. This is a solution and accommodation, but usually at no cost. to set up an office space in someone's home so they can work from home. And all of these things that I mentioned is something that VR can help with, coming up with a solution or actually paying for the solution or working with the employee to discuss what their needs are in a safe and comfortable environment. Oh, VR can be such a partner to employers as well as employees. Well, I appreciate y'all listening to me ramble on about one of my passionate subjects, which is assistive technology. I would love if you think of other needing solutions. I would love to brainstorm with you to come up with those solutions. My email address is my name, Michelle.Szumski, and that's at twc.texas.gov. If you run across somebody else needing accommodations, please share my email. I love to help and to make jobs accessible.